one.
어서 와. 소주talk은 처음이지.
LOL.
That one was like way cringy.
Boy!
I cringed.
Good.
Oh!
I practiced like the like tone he used and stuff. Like that's what I was practicing because I didn't want to be like off key on
Wow.
the
I did not expect that. Wow.
But
wow.
let's get going.
What are
So
you
what's up,
doing?
everyone? We're SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. This is episode 11, and we're recording on Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. I'm Doug, and joining me, as usual, we have Warren.
Hello, everybody.
We got Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
And we got Anita.
Hello.
And quick heads up, we're going to be talking about Show Me the Money 777 episode 6 in our post-podcast discussion. And you can find this podcast on YouTube and all other podcasting apps and stuff like Spotify, iTunes, all those kind of things. But today's main topic is going to be K-pop fan culture. So we're going to, not really the way that fandoms interact with each other, but more like how much, like the levels of fandom you could get into as a K-pop fan. But before we get to that, let's go over the big new releases. So October 10th was kind of hectic. We had three, so this week we had, 6 releases overall, which is more than we generally have.
Holy shit.
So October 10th, which was last Wednesday, we had IU with BBIBBI, which actually achieved an all kill. So shout out to IU. She's always killing it. We had Promise 9 with Love Bomb, and we had Boys Republic with You're My, which is their final song before their quote unquote indefinite hiatus. On October 11th, the day after Thursday, we had Weki Meki with Crush. October 12th, Friday, we had NCT 127. How do I pronounce that, guys?
127.
127.
NCT 127 with Regular. The Korean version came out that day. And then on October 16th, which is today, we had April with Oh My Mistake. So let's talk about these songs.
Real quick, sorry. Boys Republic, their song came out in September, and this is just their music video that's just being released now.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
That's okay. That's why I thought the song sounded familiar because I had heard it before. But let's talk about that IU song because I think it's fantastic.
Fucking
Yes.
fire. Whoa. Damn.
Can I say one thing? Can we get more IU dancing in
Yes,
stuff?
please. Yes, please.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Like underrated. I was
Yeah.
thinking like because you think of IU, you do not think of dancing at all, right? You think of just like you think of her first couple songs with like Joe and Now Good Day and like You and I, and then she changed over time, but she did this song and she had some moves. I was like, ooh, show me the moves.
Like I listened to this song before I saw the music video, before like I saw that dancing. Like I thought it went really well with it. But the song itself was just so good. It's so good.
Yo,
Yeah.
all the lyrics. If you haven't read the lyrics and if you haven't read the translations, you should definitely fucking go for it. It's definitely all about her haters and like the whole like online controversy that like stirred up with the what was it called? The we know what we're talking about. The whole like pedophilia kind of controversy. And I was like, shit. She's going fucking ham. Like this is like some like this is hip hop. Like this is more hip hop than Kanye. Like this is it. Like
Bro.
damn.
Warren, were you digging the streetwear she was wearing?
Bruh.
Bruh.
Dream come true right there, dude. She was lit.
Dude, the entire thing was amazing, and it's tied for first right now on the charts, which with a song we'll talk about in our additional songs. But the next song we had was from Promise 9. Y'all know I have a soft spot for them, although I've already talked to all of you, and y'all were kind of lukewarm on Love Bomb. Okay, for me, I'll be objective here. The verses are weak. I thought the chorus was fine though, and I like the dancey thing they did with the hands. I thought that was okay.
I agree. But everything else kind of
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I told you guys I spent the whole weekend watching their reality show because I wanted to see more or less what Eyes One would do on their reality show because
It's practice.
That's why
it was practice run. But
Shit.
I was watching it and then I was like, oh, these kids are kind of nice. And I always forget that Promise 9. So they're from Idol School, which was that reality show. And I always forget the fact that those kids, when they joined Idol School, were all free agents. So this isn't a temporary group. They got 7-year contracts. This is a normal group. They ain't going away. I always forget that. But I kind of like them. I hope they do better. But this song was, yeah, I agree with you. It was okay.
No, here's what I think. I'll mention this later when you talk about Weki Meki, but I feel like they did a lot of good things though. Like besides the course being good and everything, like they didn't put Tangyuri in the center for everything. Like
that's true.
I know. I was like, where is she?
It was like Fine Waldo, you know, like it was great.
So she was ranked 9 out of all of them. So she's like the low end.
Oh,
of the popularity.
really?
Damn, I had no idea.
Yes.
Oh, is that why she came out on Produce 48? Wow.
I don't know why she came out on Produce 48, but she's number 9. She got 9th place, so she's on the low end, but she's only in a decent amount of parts because she's pretty much the main vocal of the group. So that's why. But let's talk about Boys Republic. Sad song, sad music video. It got me really thinking like the groups we like are temporary and we never know when it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it got me thinking.
Why are they going on hiatus?
My guess is just not enough success. Because at the end of the day, this is a money game, right? And it just really got me thinking, like, damn, some of the groups I like we think of like Twice and Red Velvet, they've been around like 3-4 years. That's like more than halfway generally on average. That's crazy to think about.
It's so sad.
It's depressing. Let's talk about Weki Meki Crush.
Oh Jesus!
Ooh.
Can I make a shout out, yo? Doyeon? Oh my goodness, visuals!
Yes.
What the heck?
Oh,
Doyeon is so beautiful. Yes.
So the interesting thing, I've been watching Weki Meki stuff probably since their debut, and before that on Produce. It used to be a Yujong focus of everything, well, and I felt like Doyeon was the second person, but now it seems like Doyeon's the first person.
Yeah.
Switched.
Yeah.
But I will shout out to their company Fantagio for they got the line distribution more even this time because the first song was like literally you only saw Doyeon and Yujong the entire time, and it's more spread out now, which I think is great because they're sharing the love.
I still feel like they could do a better job. Like I felt like the first minute in or so, all I was seeing was Yujong and Doyeon and like a couple other kids. Like.
I think like that's their strategy to like start with with like the famous ones and then but I think the song was just like like I don't even remember.
I do think though they're trending in a better direction than their debut.
I still feel like they're improving, but they still have all the problems they started with. Like this also reminded me of their first single a lot because their first single they mashed together like 4 different genres. This time they mashed around like not 4 but like 3, and they thought that would be okay. But I was still like, nah, this is too much. You know, like
bro. Let's talk about some NCT.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Woo! Like Jesus. I like okay. So honestly, I'm not huge into NCT. I know like 2 kids. I know Mark and Johnny. Right. I think those are the only 2 kids I know in that group. But damn, they were killing it.
So good.
It was fire.
The whole album is great.
Yeah.
I watched Music Bank and Inkigayo last week. I don't remember if they were on Inkigayo, but they were on Music Bank, and I was like, Jesus, this is really professional. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Their music video felt like watching like a film. Like
and shout out for releasing an English version too. Like that's some fan service right there.
I feel like that's what SM is like doing nowadays.
Like you got the Wendy John Legend collab coming up. I'm sure that's gonna be like mostly English, and like it's great that they're doing that because Korea is a small market, so you got to rely on the Western market to get some kind of income coming in, and that's the perfect strategy to do it. And as it's like what you would expect from SM, they're like one step ahead of everyone.
Yeah, they are.
All right, let's get to the last main song. We got April with "Oh My Mistake," which came out earlier today. I thought this was pretty good. I thought
it was a good song.
I really liked it.
Throwback.
It was like a very pleasant kind of surprise because I haven't listened to a lot of April's stuff, and like this, I came in and this felt like it had like that like retro indie pop vibe, like
yeah,
like, you know what I mean, like the indie electronic kind of scene, kind of thing, you know, like it was very different. And
shout out to Chaekyung from Produce 101 season 1 because she's in April now.
Oh really?
for her that she's in a group. And honestly, the only other, so I don't know the members of April, and I might get to know them now because I thought this was good. And the only other thing I knew was the Hyunju girl who was in Unity and the unit left the group. That was the only two things I knew about the group. But
damn.
Yeah.
after listening to the song, might have to read up on some April.
They
Good
have
job, DSP.
really pretty members. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say that too. I was like, damn, visuals are pretty good, DSP.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
So the last song I want to talk about, it wasn't one of the ones we listed, but it's sort of K-pop because it's featuring a K-pop artist. It's Zion.T's Hello Tutorial
yeah.
featuring Seulgi from Red Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
This whole
Good.
album from Zion.T is amazing.
Yeah, it's really
Great.
good.
The album's called, I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's 3 Z's. Like when someone's
Z, Z,
sleeping,
Z.
you draw some Z's above their head.
Z-z-z-z-z.
But you can find it on it's all on Spotify right now. You should listen to this whole album. It's a perfect like chill album, walking around, driving, that kind of thing.
Oh, I need to
And
go do
Yeah.
that.
Getting a Seulgi feature, I always forget how good of a singer she is because how crazy talented she is at dancing.
Mhm.
Yes.
But damn, she's just overall amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
I wasn't a really big fan, to be honest. I thought
Really?
I thought it was it's good. It's good. It's better than the last album. The like it was better than that. But like I was like it's all right.
All right, you might think it's all right, but it's tied with IU for number 1 on the charts, and I'll probably surpass her in a couple hours.
It was very soft, I would say.
That's true.
I like
I-
soft.
I
But
think
it
you're
was
right.
good. Yeah.
Because if I had to listen to Hello Tutorial or BBIBBI, I would listen to BBIBBI, I think.
But real quick, shout out to my man, my favorite musician of all time, Esense. He's featured on the 4th track. Fucking good to see and hear his voice again. It's lovely, pleasant. But go on.
Yo, let's get into our show winners this week. So Icon with By Road killing it. They won 5 shows. They won
Shit.
Show Champion, M Countdown, Music Bank, Show Music Core, and Inkigayo. So they won like the
Let's
big 5
go.
shows.
Shit.
They won all the
Let's
important
go.
ones. And today on the show, which is on SBS MTV, it's kind of the lower show where a lot of teams win their first song. NCT won with regular, which is
Woo!
interesting.
Ooh, let's
because
go.
It means that they won on the first week, which is kind of rare.
Congrats.
And guess what? Promise 9 was second by only like.
What?
Damn.
Sad boy.
No, if NCT followed normal rules, Promise 9 would have won. So
Dang.
that's some food for thought. It really means that Promise 9 is one decent song from winning, which
Yeah,
is
but
interesting.
SM gives no fucks. They're gonna take over.
That's true.
Next week it's gonna be like all NCT.
All right,
Oh,
but
so-
Or maybe like a couple IU in there, but NCT's fandom's bigger, so.
yeah, I think IU's gonna like.
Yeah, I think
destroy
IU's
all
gonna
of this.
dominate.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
I think it'll be IU winning on the shows that she wants to be on the chart with, and then NCT winning the ones that she doesn't want to be on.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the housekeeping for this week. Let's get into the main topic. So we're going to be talking about K-pop fan culture. So not really how different fandoms interact with each other, but more how like you are in the fandom. So how much of a fan you are of K-pop. So I took some time this week and I broke it up into 4 categories. We got casuals / muggles, filthy casuals, as some people call them.
Shit,
We
that's
got
me.
irregular fans. We got hardcores, and we got your Sasaeng fans, and you don't want to be one of those because you kind of loco then if you that. Well, let's start off at the top, and we'll talk about each group. So we got casuals, muggles, filthy casuals, all that stuff. So those are more or less your friends who know some songs, some groups.
I know BTS. Yeah.
They probably don't know all the members of a group, but they'll know like one kid. It's like, oh, I know AOA, I know Sohyun,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They kind of enjoy the K-pop scene more on like an individual song basis, I would say. Like if something's high on the charts, that's what they're listening to. I mean, I was that for like a good 2-3 years at the beginning.
Wow.
Like, I didn't know that much. Like although like I like Sonya Shide the most, I didn't know their names for like 2-3 years, to be honest.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
Long time.
Like I think I had the albums before I knew all their names.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Straight up.
I mean,
'Cause-
there's a lot of them.
Yo, shout out to the H Mart at Fort Lee because they had K-pop CDs back in like 2008 before anyone did. Even though they charged me like $30 a CD, they
Oh,
did give me a
shit.
poster. So
It's fucking expensive.
shout out to them. Yeah, so I would say this is. Let's see. I think my sister's around this level. Maybe she's a fan. She might be around this level. She knows the big stuff pretty much, and I don't think she could really name all the
members from a group.
I think the only group she can name the members of is IZ*ONE, but that's just because we watch the show. But
I think my mom's in this level as well. Like,
yeah,
she's like, oh yeah.
Most people are in this level.
And honestly, this is that's like the most fun level to be on because you only listen to good stuff then, right?
Yeah.
Like,
or the most famous stuff.
yeah, and it pretty much like sifts through, like, honestly, although the K-pop scene's small, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and being a casual means you only get to listen to the stuff that's pretty popular, and generally the popular stuff's good. So it's a good level to be at. So next you get upgraded. Now you're like a fan now. Like, you could say like, yo, I like K-pop. Generally it means you got like a favorite group. You know the members of that group. You might even have a favorite or a bias in that group. And depending on if you got some funds or not, I get it. If you're young, it might be a struggle to get some money. You might have to ask mom and dad. You might have to hustle a little, work a job. But you might buy the occasional album if you can get it, even though if you're buying it online and live somewhere where you can, it might be expensive. But that's what you do as a fan. You may go to the concerts if you have more money, and you probably watch some of the content online of the group that's not just the music videos, but you probably don't watch like literally everything that comes out. You just watch what you can find. Honestly, I think I like being at that level. Like,
regular fan.
Regular fan
level,
is like the sweet spot for me because because it's the level where you know what you like at that point, right? And honestly, you're not at the point where you will literally watch stuff that you know is terrible or listen to stuff that's terrible just for the sake of like your group. And it's the point where you don't feel like obligated to watch or buy stuff or listen to anything. You're just like, I like this group. If they're on Running Man, I'll watch it, right? But you're not like spending a lot of your time online looking up stuff at this point. I think Warren falls around. I think he's like a little bit at this level. So.
I think I think mostly most of my K-pop career, I guess, I've been a fan. Like, I've been like a normal fan. Like, I liked Twice, that was my favorite group. I knew all the members. I had a favorite. I bought a couple albums. I plan on going to their concert next year. I do watch their content. Not everything, but I do watch some of it. So I feel I check all the boxes. That's kind of me.
What concert? I want to go to this too, bro.
No, like me and my friends we're thinking about traveling to Asia next summer. Not just Korea, but a bunch of places. And you want to go to like
do it.
You want to go to a Twice concert, and you want to go to like a Korean rap concert. Like, just like that's on the checklist. Oh yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know how to buy tickets to concerts in Korea, so that's something you might have to teach me one day.
Low key, getting a Twice ticket is hella fucking difficult apparently. So I might not.
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
I don't know. Just Twice, like Twice.
Try it.
So, I mean, I hope to go to some concerts eventually, but like right now, I'm trying to get some money, some paper. So it's a bit of a struggle.
Go while you can. Go while you can, because these groups might disband, a member might leave. That's my biggest regret, like not going to like EXO concert when I could. Like, it's so sad. Yeah.
Bro, if IZ*ONE comes anywhere in North America, I'm going.
You have to, because they're gonna disband. You have to go.
Exactly. I have to go regardless.
I'll come with you. I'll fly.
Definitely,
dude. We'll make a vlog.
But so next time, if you level up even further, now you pretty deep, right? Like you deep. Ooh. Now you're hardcore.
Shit.
This means you start following all of their social media, right? You Google you look for their content and watch absolutely everything. You might join the fan cafe at this point, which is like the online fan community for the group. You probably buy all the albums at this point, and you may even buy multiples to get the whole set, because the way K-pop albums work is generally they have different versions for each member, which is a total money grab, but I get it, right? And you probably will try to go to every single concert you possibly will. This really sounds like Jenny to me.
On top of this, I think another like requirement to be a hardcore fan is like trying to give them like not requirement, I don't know, a description. It's like giving them like gifts. Like for example, like Warren participated in Juri's like message book, right? Like for me, like for Ujin's birthday, like I send like money through PayPal. Like
oh my god,
like physically like supporting them, like whether it's like monetary or like it's like art. You know, I think that's like another sign that you're a hardcore fan.
I think I fall in between fan and hardcore. That's where I think.
I think so too.
That's like the perfect spot for me because I'm pretty into IZ*ONE, but like I ain't sending the money yet. Damn.
yet.
Yo, Mega Millions is tonight. If I win it, what? Okay, let's say I win Mega Millions tonight. The cash payout, if you take the lump sum, is like 280 million or something ridiculous, right?
Wow.
What if I sent each member $1 million, bro?
Oh my god.
Would I make the news at that point?
Yes. You would make the news, and people would look at you in a pleasant light.
I mean, if I win that much, it might just happen. Let's be frank here.
I think, to be honest, with up until like earlier, I was on the fan level. But with like Juri, I'm starting to like kind of like wind around the hardcore level. Like.
Yeah, so Juri was a contestant on Produce 48. If you guys listen to us all the time, you would know this. Warren's like a huge fan. That's his one pick. That's his Oshiman. That's all that stuff.
That's fucking J-pop now, not K-pop. But
like this kid Warren, he's the guy who edits our videos. He's pretty good at graphic design, all that jazz.
Hi guys.
One time, Juri mentioned at a fan meeting that she missed Melina, which is a Korean ice cream. Warren made a Photoshop of Juri like as if she got a Melina commercial. And it got put in a how do I put it?
Message book.
A message book that they're sending to Juri. And also we found out that someone asked her if she's seen it at a fan event, and she has. That's how deep Warren is. He has a direct connection to Juri at this point.
Dude,
he's a succeeded fan.
Biggest achievement of my career so far. Fuck getting a job and an internship. This is it. This is life.
I feel ya.
Bro. I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud for you. Like, I'm
proud too.
Like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm proud of myself too, but at a certain point, I kind of like look at myself and I'm like, "What are you doing, Warren?"
I think there's like a direct correlation between like how much money you're spending and how deep you are, honestly, and like the amount of time you're spending too, right? That's definitely two things that are heavily related. And honestly, I say, as long as it's not interfering with your daily life, being a hardcore fan, I think is acceptable.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as
it might be
like you
you
have your life, and then you have your like fangirling life like separate, and you're still living your daily life. Like being a hardcore fan doesn't mean like you're giving up on your normal life. You know, there has to be a balance, I think.
Obsessed.
When it's obsessed, which we will get to later, it turns into something very bad.
It's gotta be a work-life balance. That's what it's gotta be.
Yes.
You know?
For those of you who aren't hardcores, I always think of it like this. It's like, let's say you have a hobby, you like reading your books, you like playing video games, maybe you work out all the time. If you spent that amount of time liking a K-pop group, you'd pretty much be a hardcore. So that's why I feel like it's sort of an equivalent thing. And it's one of those things where I think as long as you ain't going nuts and it's ruining your life, I think it's okay. It might be a little embarrassing, but so is like saying I play video games 4 hours a day. That would be embarrassing, right? So same kind of deal. Although K-pop's a little more taboo, as we've covered in the past, but same type of deal for me.
Which, if you're interested in, you should go check out our previous episode.
Hey, but let's level up into the extreme category, guys. Let's do it. So,
final evolution, final form, level 9,999
takes over your life. You're now considered what is called a Sasaeng fan.
Oh boy.
So a Sasaeng fan, I found a definition on Wiki. There's literally a Wikipedia article on it, right?
Jesus.
So it's an overly obsessive fan of a Korean idol or other public figure that has engaged in stalking or other behavior that constitutes an invasion of privacy. And I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, that is.
So, although there are some obsessed fans in the West, Sasaeng fans generally refers to fans in Korea, I would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these fans have an unhealthy obsession with a group or a specific idol. It's literally like the number one priority in their life. They'll like skip school to follow them. They'll spend obscene amounts of their parents' money, and because a lot of them are young and don't even have their own money. So generally, to be a Sasaeng fan, you got to have some rich parents is pretty much what happens. As I said before, you'll literally just follow the group around and you'll know their travel itinerary. You might even hang out outside their dorm, which I think is ridiculous. And you might even be willing to break the law to meet or follow your bias around. Those are all common traits. And man, if you're at this level, you need some Jesus. Like
some help. Serious help.
I also, if you're at this level, I blame your parents for not like reeling you in a little on this. I think it's completely related to how sometimes it's one of those things in Korea where because there's such a heavy work culture, parents might not be able to watch their kids a lot because they're so busy working and stuff. So they just don't care what their kid's doing. And if your kid's doing this, you might have some problems with your kid. But I'm going to talk about some notable incidents that have happened in the past, just to give you some examples of how crazy it can get. So a couple incidents that have happened, we've had like blood letters, right? Like, so these fans have been literally sending letters written in their blood, whether it be from like their arm or something. Someone even said this is a little disgusting. So watch yourself. If you're eating right now, I apologize. I'm going to say it. People have sent letters in like period blood to these idols before.
What the fuck?
It's true. It's true.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
And
it is disgusting.
some idols who've dealt with this have been Taeyang and G-Dragon, and one of the most famous one was Ok Taekyeon from 2PM. That happened.
Yes.
So if you at that level, like, you need some help. Like, Jesus.
Like at this point, they're not really fans, are they?
Yeah,
they're just they're
It's an
fucking
obsession.
stalkers. Yeah,
They're fucking mental, these fucking people. What the hell?
I always think of it like this, right? It's like, what's your end game, right?
Right.
Like
I always thought like, oh sorry.
No, go Anita.
I always thought that maybe it's kind of like a competition of trying to do like the most outrageous, most
That's true.
uncomfortable thing just to be remembered
There was
as that
Yeah.
one person.
There was a thing with DBSK where a fan slapped someone because they wanted them to remember their face, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Historically, that
god,
happens.
yeah.
So
Damn.
bad.
Yo, your fucker's crazy. What the hell?
So for someone like me who's like in between a fan or a hardcore, my end goal is to see these kids succeed. Like I want them
Yeah.
because I want to cheer for them and I want them to do well in their lives. Like that's the end game for me. But for some of these Sasaeng fans, they literally think in their head that they're gonna marry their idols, and it ain't gonna happen. Let's be real here. Unless you are either in the industry itself, or for some reason you knew them before they were famous, you have some kind of personal connection, or you're super wealthy. Sorry to say, you got like really no chance. Like
Unless you're fangirling over D-Arc.
Oh god. But let's get back to some other examples. So these are more like when they intrude in personal space. So we've had EXO's Baekhyun, they crashed his brother's wedding to see him.
Yeah.
Like that's too far.
Christ.
We had CM Blue Jonghyun, there was a fan hiding in their dorm closet.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Lord.
God.
We had another incident where Super Junior were lounging around their dorm, which was on the eighth floor of an apartment, and then fans texted them. They're like, "Oh, that's nice underwear you're wearing."
What the fuck?
So it means that they literally like, number one, got their phone number somehow, but number two, were spying on them and texted them about it. That was the level it got to.
Yo, this is straight up crime. Don't do this shit.
I would say the most hardcore of these, like when you need to meet them, is when EXO fans in China shaved their head and went into the men's bathroom to meet them.
Huh?
What the fuck?
That was an incident.
I didn't know
Yo, get a
about
bald
that.
cap. Why'd you shave off your fucking... What
They
the
were
hell?
They were female fans, so that in order to get into the men's bathroom, they shaved their heads.
Well, I get that part, but like...
What?
Really? Like... What?
And JYJ Yoonchun, he had CCTV installed in his house by fans. That happened before too. Like, we're talking about some crimes here, right?
Criminal activity.
Some crimes, these are all
crimes.
crime. Yeah.
And even on a lower level, one-on-ones had issues with fans loitering around their dorm and hiding in the stairwells and stuff to see them, and leaving like trash all over the place. And it's like these fans don't even like realize that there's other people living in that building. Like,
It's a big problem.
They just don't give a shit.
and I know like companies have taken steps to like try to blacklist crazy fans, but it's like, what are you gonna do if they're standing across the street? There's not much you can really do, right? It's a weird area to be in.
Wait, hold up. How do you hide in a stairwell?
No. So they get entry into the building, right?
Yeah.
And then they hide in the stairwells near like the floor they live on, so when they come out, they can see them.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Like
That's a lot
it's
of
pretty
waiting
bad.
too. Like, damn.
And then some other examples I wanted to highlight was so Jackson from GOT7. They were, I don't know what, it wasn't in Korea, it was in a different country, and he got in a car accident because fans were following them in taxis, and they cut him off, and he got in an accident. He got hurt from that. Like, if that's your idol and you're a fan of that person, why would you put them in danger? It makes no sense.
What the
Seriously.
hell? What the?
And
what
then
the hell?
one of the historic really bad episodes was when someone put super glue in Yuno's drink. But that's more of an anti-fan. That's a different, that's more like, so Sang fans are fans who claim to be on the side of the idol, but there's also people who are anti-fans who just hate specific idols for random reasons. And
I think said if he had the decision to like repeat this like idol life versus like just living a normal life, he said he would choose the normal life because of the Sasaeng, like because how bad it is.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what he said.
They get phone numbers and they just text them, and like they invade their, like, I think Taeyeon has had multiple Instagram posts where she's begging people to stop calling her at night because she's trying to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember Chanyar from EXO like calling them out on his Instagram too. Like it's to the point that the artists like have to call them out, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then
I also think that's like the company's fault because like they don't really do anything about it, which is really bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just feel like, I don't know, K-pop and the idol industry kind of has this I don't know, this sense of giving importance to the fans, like a lot of importance to the fans. And I don't know if it goes to an extreme where sometimes the fans feel like they control the idol.
Is it more like it's like they got like a customer's always right mentality?
Yeah. Like they feel they can't do anything wrong, so they just go for it.
They also feel, sometimes I think fans feel a little entitled because they're like, if I didn't buy your albums, you would be poor.
Yeah.
That kind of situation going on. But there's like a lot of, I wouldn't call them minor events, but like smaller things that happen. Like we've had Taeyeon, like a crazy fan got on the stage and tried to pull her off of it.
That was so scary.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then even at like smaller events, we have all these incidents of idols getting like too, like, it's like if you get called up on a stage at a fan meeting or a concert or stuff, you should act chill. Like, don't go nuts. But there's tons of minor incidents where fans like kiss them, hug them, and it's like, you're invading their personal space. Like, would you go up to a random person on the street and do that? Hell no. Like, but just because you're a fan of this person, you think it's okay? Like,
yeah, that's an assault. Like, that's not right.
But I think like this more or less, like, all right, so these are like the extreme examples, right? Like, but at the same time, it's one of those things like with all things in life where moderation is key, right?
Yeah.
You have to objectively look at yourself and realize, like, I might be a little crazy right now, right? Let's tone it down a little. Like, just because they have a 12 concert tour does not mean I need to go to all 12 of the concerts. Like, and I get that, like, a lot of really hardcore fans, it's due to the amount of money they can blow on these groups, but at the same time, it's like, Jesus.
At the same time, you're wasting your life away just in a car or behind a stairwell waiting for people to come out and texting them being like, I like your underwear or something like that. Like, what the fuck? It's fucking crazy.
Okay, I want to say something. Like, you know those like really, really high quality photos like uploaded on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
We should talk about that.
The thing is, like, yes, those pictures are beautiful, and especially like the ones in the airport. You need to be very careful before you guys like retweet those photos or save those photos, because those we call them homepage masters, like home masters who take those really high quality. Those people could actually be Sasaengs, but people just don't know because they provide really nice photos. But you have to like actually know if there's Sasaengs or not. Okay, like if they're really, really far into the airport, like following them around, like taking pictures, like
that's too
they're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, they're following them around everywhere. So just a disclaimer, if you follow a bunch of those accounts on Twitter, like just make sure they're not Sasaengs, because a majority of them could be.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be smart about it. You look at the photos, right? If they're like at the airport when they're getting out of the car, going through the gate, that's fine, right? But if they're like in the airplane with them and stuff, like that's a problem. You got there's some issues going on there. Especially if you notice that it's a regular occurrence. They're like, how did they get there? Like, how did they get this much access? And it gives a bad name to some photographers because some photographers, it's a great like way for fans to get more content, right?
Right.
And it's good when certain groups, like, because certain kids in groups have like fan clubs that will take pictures of them only, right? And I think that's fine, especially if they know who they are and it's okay with them. Like, they're okay with it, and they do it at the appropriate places. Like, they go into the fan meets because they got in, that kind of thing. But when you take in like pictures of them leaving their house every single day, it's a bit of an issue for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn. American people like hire paparazzis. Like, these people don't do this shit. Like,
dude, these Koreans are the paparazzis. Like, they'll pay taxi drivers to like drive them around to all the schedules of the idol for the entire day.
Christ
like,
Lord.
When they should be at school.
I see anonymous accounts on Twitter, like looking for, who wants to be in the same taxi as me following this certain idol?
Wow.
Like, it's everywhere, and they're like all anonymous. Like, yeah, it's really scary, and it's an actual thing. Like, even today, like, it exists.
All right, all right. Many of our listeners, I'm sure you guys aren't Korean people because we do this podcast in English. However, if you go to Korea, I've heard that some fans will try to do this. When you go to Korea, feel free to go to a recording of Music Bank. Feel free to check them out. Go to their fan event and shit. But don't pay a taxi driver as much as a taxi driver will like it. Don't pay a taxi driver to just follow the fuckers around for the whole day. Like, that's just
just have common sense. Don't break any rules. Like, I'm okay with you if you want to hang out outside the SM building all day on the odd chance you see someone. Like, that's a public space. I don't think there's anything terribly wrong with that, right? It might be a little like a waste of your time because you're in Korea and you should be seeing way other cooler stuff. But if that's how you want to spend your vacation,
nah,
I don't have a problem. But you shouldn't be trying to like knock on the door and get in the building, get in like deep into the building or anything.
I think for me, like, I kind of think like waiting outside like the company all day is kind of problematic, like, because like, people like live there, and I see like, and I think it makes sense if you see the idol in a public space, right? Like, going to a company is like their idols, like that's their schedule, like they need to do that for their own business. They're not trying to be in front of people, right? If it's in a concert or fan meet, if they're going to airport, they know that a bunch of people are gonna be there, it's okay. But I think it's like if it's their private life, like, I don't think that should be bothered.
I agree. It's more like if you like, because SM has a store now right outside their building, right? They have like
the store makes sense.
Store with goods. I get you go to the store, maybe you hang out for like 30 minutes, you see if anyone shows up or anything. If they don't, go do something else. You're in Korea. Why are you wasting your vacation standing outside the SM building? Go do cool stuff. Like, honestly. But I think it's a lot of just common sense. Like,
it is.
Don't be that one person who does those things. Just be a
don't be that person who goes into like the SM security guard and be like, I have a meeting here, right? And try to get in. Like, I'm sure 1,000 other people have tried and they haven't gotten in. But Anita, where do you fall on the spectrum?
I think I'm the same as you, Doug. I think I qualify more as a regular fan than hardcore, but I feel like I know a little bit more than just a regular fan.
That's true. You have a deep knowledge.
So I like in between, yeah.
I think for me, I was always in just the fan category, but it's gotten a little higher since Produce 48, definitely. Like, I watch all the content, and it's a little tiring, honestly. Like,
it can be, yes, but once you're in it, you're in it.
My pet peeve is like the fan cafe. It's like 40,000, like okay, realistic number, like 100 people will post the exact same photo when it comes out, and I'm like,
yes,
guys, it's already been here like 50 times. We don't need it again. Like, I've seen it. Like, stop. I want new content. But I guess that's just the struggle.
Like, fun thing about being a hardcore fan is like there's like a whole community. Just like you guys are all talking about the same thing, like you said, the same photo. Like, I think it's really fun once you're in it, but once you're out of it, you're just like, oh, right, I was there once. They're crazy.
Like, you're in with the conspiracy theories and like, all the other stuff. I mean, it's fun. It's fun.
Yo, I'm in the Katalk group chats with like those other fans. I'm like, damn, these are my brothers. These guys got my back.
Oh my god,
we're in it together.
But I think we've covered this topic well, and it's like
yes.
So try to think of where you fit into this spectrum, and if you want to leave a comment or anything, let us know. And it's a good talking point.
What fan group do you fall in? Hopefully not a Sasaeng fan.
I mean, I doubt unless you got tons of money, you could be a Sasaeng from America. Although there are some, I've seen some.
There are.
Dang.
I've seen guys from Twice who literally fly to Korea like 3 times a month for
Holy
it.
shit.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, it's incredible. But let's get on to the news from last week. So these are the big stories. So the biggest one I would say is Cube Entertainment announces Hyunna's official department from the agency, which we kind of expected.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been like clapping back at them. She's been posting pictures of her and Edon on SNS.
Yes.
He opened the personal Instagram account. Like they clapping, yo. And my guess is he'll probably I don't think he should, but he'll probably leave the group, right? And today a letter from Hyunna to the Cube Entertainment CEO was released.
I didn't know.
We don't know. It hasn't been 100% verified, so take this at a grain of salt. But it was addressed to CEO Shin Dae-nam, who is the CEO of Cube, and it was handwritten from Hyunna to him. It was more or less talking about things, and I got some quotes from it. So Hyunna says, "As you know well, my only sin is working my body to the bone for Cube Entertainment until now." That's facts.
Shit.
Dang.
She writes, I don't know how enormous of a sin I've committed, but everything in my schedule has been canceled since September. That's true. And she said, another thing she said was, then on September 11, I read the news of my removal, even though I could have been told in person. I think that's true.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like Cube Entertainment handled this the completely wrong way. Like,
Yeah.
she's been loyal to you more than almost anyone has to your company, right? She's made all of you at that company hella rich. Let's be straight up.
Yeah.
True.
And she's been an idol for like 10 years. And just because she wants to date him, I get the whole reason why it's an issue with Pentagon, right? Because they're a rookie group and sometimes that's a little sketchy. But for Hyunna, who's been like the face of your company, who stayed after 4 Minute broke up, who's done pretty much everything you've wanted, has endured the sexy comebacks, even though she probably wasn't ready for it early in her career, right? She's done all that for you, and just because she wants to date someone, you like pull the plug. Hey, come on. Where's the loyalty?
Wasn't she like super young when she started doing Change? Her like
Yep.
first single as a
Bubble pop.
Very young.
All that stuff, dude. It was really early. But I think Hyunna, I think she's definitely taken the high road, and she seems to be like having a good time with a little bit of freedom in her life. And I don't think she'll be blacklisted because she's too big of an entity at this point. I don't think they could deny her.
No, yeah.
I mean, Dongbang was blacklisted, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think Cube has the power that SM
that's
does.
also true.
Yeah.
That's also true.
But my guess is Hyunna takes like a good half a year, maybe a year off, and then comes back and wins absolutely everything. She'll come back with a vengeance, I feel.
Hope so.
I hope she gets a good company wherever she goes.
But here at SojuTalk, we're hoping that the best for Hyunna because she's like an integral part of the scene, to be honest.
Yo, fuck Denim. Fuck Cube. Fuck your asshole.
What?
No, I like Cube stuff. I just don't like this thing.
I don't like their management. How about that? You know.
I agree with that. Let's continue. So I got like three articles more or less about comebacks and interesting stuff. So JYP confirms Twice's comeback date. So it'll be on November 5th.
Oh shit.
Pretty close.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I don't have a specific date, but Red Velvet will come back in November. They've announced that. And some more SM news. Shiny's Key is going to make a solo debut. So good for him.
Wow. Go.
Oh,
SM is doing some moves. We got that Wendy John Legend collab coming up soon too. So the next news I have is Big Hit Entertainment, which is the home of BTS, has taken a financial leap as a private investment firm purchased a large amount of stock from them. And more or less, they took a certain amount of stock for a certain amount of money, right? So if you extrapolate that, they're now higher than YG in terms of their valuation overall.
Shit.
Wow.
Craziness.
Damn.
So they killing it. And the thing we always say about Big Hit is will the second group succeed as well? That's the big question.
Yeah.
But for now, the money's just coming in. And lastly, I got that K-pop popularity rise responsible for a staggering 45% increase in Korean album sales. So this is physical album sales has risen 45%.
Dang.
Oh my god!
In the last year.
Dang.
So so sales have increased by about 42 million USD, which is 45%. They said.
Let's go.
Craziness.
Wow.
But another interesting thing I thought about is like 43 million is not that much considering Taylor Swift makes like 100 million a year. But that just shows why you buying albums is so important to idol success, because profit margins are slim. So support your artists. Let's go. Let's do the upcoming releases for this week. So tomorrow, October 17th, we have Ji coming back. I love her songs, and she's from A-Pink, and I wonder if she's going to do more trot theme or normal theme, because she could do either, honestly. On October 18th, Thursday, we have Lee Honggi from FT Island. Honggi Samseng님, he's coming back. He always has interesting stuff. And all of his stuff is generally a little different than his work with FT Island, so it's always good to look out for. And October 22nd, next Monday, two big ones. We have Stray Kids and Monsta X coming back. So
I think during the duration of our podcast, Stray Kids is like the first group to have their second comeback, like have another comeback.
Yeah. Shout out to Stray Kids.
God, we've been around for 11 episodes. Oh shit!
Wow.
So I wanna talk about how hyped I am about IZ*ONE for like 2 seconds. So the reality's coming out on October 25th. That's my sister's birthday. Shout out to Danielle and shout out to Chayana, which is her one pick. Shout out to her. We got the debut on October 29th. That's a Monday. Super stoked for that. And confirmed all 12 members will be on Weekly Idol on Halloween. So October 31st. And it's the first kind of TV they're going to do outside of their performances and their own variety show. So it should be interesting.
Let's go.
But we're SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. That was our podcast for the week. I'm Doug, and I'd like to thank Warren, Jenny, and Anita for joining me. We're going to be having our post-podcast discussion of Show Me the Money 777, Episode 6. That's a YouTube exclusive, so check that out. And then, wait, I don't have anything else to say.
And then what?
And then support IZ*ONE. That's what we'll say. All right. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.